So if you do not know, EB04 is being released a little bit differently out in the West than where it is in East in Japan and the Asia region. The official One Piece trading card game English account just posted a video not too long ago showcasing a box of OP14/EB04, I guess you could say, but also revealing some of the new EB04 cards that we're going to be getting in this set. This is the first time I believe that we've seen any EB04 cards. We haven't even seen them revealed in stuff like the Japan Championships yet. So in this video, we're going to talk about those cards and maybe some combos that you can include in your decks heading into OP14. But first, I got to pay rent this month, so let's hear more from our sponsor. Listen, if you're itching for a brand new playmat, now is the time to check out Nen Garden, the sponsor of this video. Not only do they have brand new pre-orders up on their website for Chaos Crew, Green Fury, and the Absolute Ruler designs, which by the way, are phenomenal. But if you're a fan of Goldie Roger, Nen Garden actually put out a new playmat called The Journey's End, showcasing Goldie Roger himself, and you yourself can find his One Piece with the possibility of a 1 in 20 chance to get the special Wanted playmat. And on top of that, if you're like me and you absolutely prefer cloth mats, Nen Garden has officially posted on their site cloth mats for Green Fury, Absolute Ruler, Berserk, and Journey's End. Plus, if you want a ton of other great accessories that aren't just playmats, they've got the King of Hearts t-shirt, matching pin, other pins alongside of it through the whole Cake Island, and even stickers. Make sure with whatever you want in Nen Garden, use my code Atrocious for 8% off. The link to their website is in the description below. Thank you so much for Nen Garden for sponsoring the video, and let's get back to that video. Okay, so in this video, if you watch this video, they talk about some of the new leaders, right? They talk about some of the new cards that are coming in OP14, but they showcased 3 new cards, all green cards that are going to be in EB04, right? A set that we're getting before the Eastern region. The first one that they showed is a 7-cost, 8,000 power Jinbe blocker. He is Fishman, Fishman Island, and Sun Pirates. He's got another effect on KO. You may rest one of your cards. If your leader has the Fishman or Merfolk type, you can play a green character card with the cost of 6 or less from your hand. This is surprisingly actually some support for different leaders like Green Jinbe and Green Hody Jones. I believe those are the only 2 green Fishman leaders, but could actually be a very nice card, right? Resting one of your cards can be a Dawn card, could be a leader card, could be a character card like a little Chum Searcher or something of the sort. And being able to cheat out a 6 cost or less from your hand can be so good, right? One of the best 6 costs in my opinion, Jinbe, which by the way, getting the on play effect after the KO can go ahead and rest a 5 cost or less, which could be really bad for your opponent, right? Being able to rest a blocker or a potential attacker or something of the sort. You can play a vanilla like Watatsumi or even this Jinbe. Fisher Tiger actually could be a really good option as well. And these are just the 6 costs that we're talking about. We're not even talking about the 5 costs and below. But this Fisher Tiger on play once again rests one of your opponent's characters, but also has the ability to cheat out another character when he's KO'd, continuing to build up the board and the chain. I think this could be a really good card for the Fishman style decks. We may need a little bit more before we can start calling Hody Jones or Jinbe like a really relevant meta deck, but it's nice to see some support to get some boost for this deck and archetype, because I know there are several passionate people both in my comments and at my local level that love playing Jinbe. We also got an event card for the Minx typing called Eleclaw, I believe it's called. This is the typical 1-cost event that has the main and counter, which by the way, I mean, I don't know if any of you have watched Ikai's video recently talking about events in the One Piece trading card game, but how there's like 1,000 of these events that you can use on main and also on the counter, which, I mean, it was so funny when he pointed it out because I didn't think about it, but now I'm seeing so many of them and it's like, oh my gosh. It's like when they printed the 0-cost events for every single color except on steroids. But anyway, this event is specifically for Minx, right? Because on the counter, you can only give a Minx leader or character card plus 3,000 power, which is actually really, really nice, right? Because a lot of these 1-cost 3,000 counter their event cards have only been to leader traditionally. But now, because you're locked into a Minx type, you could choose between a leader or a character, which gives it some flexibility, especially on the defensive side. But if you want to use it on the main phase, you could rest one of your additional cards. And if you do, if your leader has the Minx type, you can give up to one of your opponent's characters -3 cost during the turn. This may seem really weird because green traditionally does not have any cost manipulation within the deck, but let me tell you about one card that loves talking about cost. It's Carrot. Carrot, specifically, if you do not know, is a very good green card that a lot of people like Bonnie play. Even my old blue-green Rosinante loves playing this card, and obviously Carrot decks do. It's very good on the on-play and when attacking to freeze a 7 cost or less, but look at it. It does not freeze a base 7 cost or less. It freezes just a generic 7 cost or less. That means that now with this event card, you can use Carrot to stun a rested 10 cost or less character. I think this is actually quite a big deal for a deck like Carrot. There is so much flexibility, especially because look at the Minx type in general, right? Inuarashi, freezing a 5 cost or less, now freezes an 8 cost or less. Shishilian, right, now rests a 6 cost or less. Consulate, right, now freezing a 7 cost or less. Even something like Giovanni, right, freezes a 3 cost. Or wait, no, a 4 cost. My math was wrong. Oh, this Inuarashi, right, also an 8 cost. Green having the accessibility to be able to cost manipulate, especially in the Minx version where it is literally all about stunning characters, is actually so good. I am so curious to see what the rest of this EB04 set is and if there's any more buffs to the Minx archetype, because oh my gosh, it could be so good, right? It might even be in a situation to where it could potentially overtake Bonnie as like the slow-ish kind of style stun deck, because I don't really consider Bonnie and Green Zora to be in like the same style of deck personally. And the final card that we saw was Megalo. Megalo being a 2k counter 4 cost, 4,000 power. On play, if you rest the character, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 8,000 power or less. That's wild in my opinion. Being able for 4 Dawn to KO an 8,000 power character, especially as a Fishman Island type, this fits so well for the 1-drop Shirahoshi, right? Being able to find it and be able to either have the 2k in your hand or utilize it. But now you're able to have a searchable option within this deck to be able, with a leader that can't swing, to be able to proactively KO different characters. And let's not stop there. Let's talk about Tony Chopper for a second, right? Being able to give Dawn to an animal Drum Kingdom type characters, 1 rested Dawn. This is an animal. So because he can't swing on the on play, if he survives the turn, now you can use your leader effect to make him swing. But on top of that, he fits perfectly in the 3 cost Tony Chopper, right? Your turn on play when attacking, you look at the top 5 cards, you play an animal type card, check, he's an animal type card, that is 4,000 power or less as rested, check. He's an animal type, 4,000 power or less. Now, you don't get the on-play effect because he's already rested, so like you can't re-rest him, and maybe it doesn't work. But like, he's an animal that can fit with the Hiking Bear version. Can you imagine if we got an animal 1-drop searcher that was not Dr. Crueja? I think there's a lot of potential in this card. Fishman Island and animal is a very interesting mix of typings for this card. I may be overreacting a little bit in Tony Chopper, but I thought it was a really cool idea for a deck that plays animals. It was the first thing I thought when I saw the animal typing. Now, a little bit of a shorter video and a little bit more of a spontaneous video, right? But let me know how you feel about these cards, and maybe if you're excited for EB04 to see some of the new reveals. I'd imagine that we'll get more lately. Also, they showed the alternate art for the Megalo, which I think is beautiful. I don't really know the lore of why Shirahoshi is in the mouth and like Luffy is there in a bubble. I don't know if this is like, if Megalo is a ship, or if like Luffy is in a bubble to be able to breathe, or if that's like a cockpit, you know, like viewing point or something. I don't really know. But this is so cool to be able to suddenly finally get, I mean, this was 42 minutes ago at the time of recording, and it is 12:44 p.m. on Friday, by the way. So I'll be live in a couple hours for the Japan Championship, by the way. This was so cool. This was a very fun thing to be able to do. Also, I got to leave a like. But that's going to be it. Again, let me know if you're excited about any of these cards or maybe some potential combos that you've started thinking about that you can utilize. And I hope to see you again in the next video. Thanks for watching, and yeah, see you later.